Welcome to TVM News. Today is Friday, March 6th, 2026. I'm Brielle Sheeland. Coming up on today's broadcast, Marywood's own IT department warns of a phishing scam. Pennsylvania's governor says AI chatbots need rules for helping students seeking counseling online. And in the city of Scranton, Mayor Paige Cognetti is fully on board with helping the fire department apply for funds for safety upgrades at area stations. Also on today's broadcast, we'll hear the latest Marywood sports scores with sports anchor Randy Rabb and weather with freshman anchor Clint Gregory. Scranton fire stations in high-traffic areas may get safety signal improvements if a grant from PennDOT is Multimodal Transportation Fund, or MTF, is granted. The suggestion to upgrade safety signals at fire stations was introduced by members of the Firefighters Union. Scranton Mayor Paige Cognetti is fully supportive of the measure, saying her administration intends to apply for a $269,000 MTF grant for fire station signal upgrades in the Electric City. Legislation for the grant application was introduced by the City Council at its February 24th meeting. The project narrative justifying the application for warning light safety improvements identifies 6 stations that are located on busy streets, with an aim of reducing the risk of collisions with pedestrians and non-emergency vehicles. Mayor Cognetti praised the initiative, highlighting the narrative that prioritizes fire stations in high-traffic areas and aids fire trucks exiting the facilities to more safely merge directly into moving traffic during emergency situations when timing is critical. If the city receives the MTF grant, there is no anticipated cost to Scranton for matching grants. Colin Gray, father of Georgia school shooter Colt Gray, was found guilty of murder and manslaughter charges. Maribel Gonzalez reports.
Murder in the second degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 2, cruelty to children in the second degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
It took a Georgia jury less than 2 hours to find Colin Gray guilty of all 27 charges against him, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter, following a September 2024 mass shooting at Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia. Prosecutors say Colin Gray's then 14-year-old son, Colt Gray, killed 2 students, 2 teachers, and wounded 9 others with an AR-15 style rifle his father had bought him for Christmas.
He was the one man who ensured that Colt Gray had the tools he needed to commit mass murder. Ladies and gentlemen, that man and his son are both responsible for the immense suffering that occurred on September 4th.
They say Colin bought Colt the gun despite warnings he was a danger to others. An emotional Colin said he did not ever perceive his son as a threat.
I don't know if anybody could ever see that kind of evil. And like the Colt I knew, the relationship I had, there's this whole other side of Colt I didn't know existed.
The trial is part of a broader push to hold more people accountable for a school shooting, including the shooter's parents.
It wasn't like one parent missed one warning. This was multiple warnings over a lengthy period of time. And like we said, you just had to do one thing and take that rifle away.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Marywood-University's IT department sent out an email Wednesday warning of a phishing scam targeting individuals and attempting to trick them into disclosing personal or sensitive information. In the email, Chief IT Officer for Marywood, Sarah Sowers, identified signs of possible phishing attempts that include unexpected requests, a sense of urgency, unfamiliar senders, suspicious links or attachments, and requests for sensitive information. Sowers cautions those on Marywood's campus to use some simple steps she identified in the email, which include never clicking on a suspicious link or attachment. She also advised recipients to notify the help desk or forward the email so that they can investigate it further.
Hello everybody, my name is Tobias Metz and this is Marywood Minute. We have today with us our guest, Randy Rabb, the host of Marywood Tonight. Let's go see what he's up to.
Oh, hello.
Hi Randy.
Welcome to Purgatory.
How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
So we'd like to talk to you about your show, Marywood Tonight. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so it's a show, it's a talk show. We have guests and hosts, jokes, and it's pretty fun.
And when does this come out?
Typically on Fridays around 12 o'clock.
Okay, awesome. And it's a production you guys do every week? Or
It's bi-weekly.
Okay, nice. And where can people find it?
Marywood's YouTube channel. Subscribe and like.
Governor Josh Shapiro and members of his administration joined with state and local leaders for a roundtable discussion at the Carnegie Clubhouse of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Western Pennsylvania, where he announced actions on artificial intelligence safety and measures to ensure tools are in place for safely and responsibly using the latest technology. The governor explained why an AI toolkit is needed.
They're saying we absolutely need those counselors. We need people we can talk to. But actually, more and more, we're finding people we can talk to online who actually aren't people. They're chatbots. And so more and more students and more school administrators are saying this is an area we got to dig in on and make sure that we've got some healthy regulations, that we've got the right policies in place in our schools to be able to keep kids safe.
Shapiro went on to say an experiment was conducted that gave an unsettling outcome.
After listening to some students talk to me about these chatbots, I was with my staff in the office, and we actually downloaded one of those chatbots. And we began to engage in a conversation with it. And I said in the chat, I'm struggling with my mental health. Are you someone that I can talk to? And this chatbot writes back or types back, whatever, yes. I said, well, I'm in Pennsylvania. I would need to talk to a licensed mental health professional in Pennsylvania. And this chatbot said, I am a licensed mental health professional in Pennsylvania. Remember, this is not a person. This is just something you download in the App Store. And it was an AI chatbot who was telling me, hey, I could get medical advice there. Well, let's be clear. They're not licensed in Pennsylvania. They're not qualified to tell you what you should or shouldn't do as it relates to your mental health. And I think that it poses a real risk to students and to others across.
Governor Shapiro says in addition to launching an AI literacy toolkit, his administration is creating an AI enforcement task force at the Department of State and establishing a formal complaint and reporting process for AI-powered bots that may be engaging in unlicensed professional practices. Shapiro's administration is also closely coordinating with Attorney General Dave Sunday to bolster consumer protections related to AI companion bots. The comic books that birthed Superman and Captain America are going on display at Smithsonian's National Museum of American History.
The comic books that birthed two icons will soon be on display at the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. The museum announced the acquisition of Action Comics #1 from 1938, which introduced us to Superman, the character that started the superhero genre and spawned the golden age of comics. Nearly 90 years later, the character is still a monumental figure in popular culture. The other acquisition, Captain America Comics #1, dated 1941, which shows the superhero smashing Adolf Hitler in the face months before America ever entered World War II. In its announcement, the museum says both comics are historically significant and their characters and themes played a major role in American culture and cultural history. Action Comics #1 goes on display in late April, followed by Captain America Comics #1 in the fall.
Welcome to the Pacer Sports Report. I'm Randy Rabb, bringing you the latest in Marywood sports and esports. The third and fourth week of esports plays have concluded. First, Super Smash Bros. Goes without dropping a single set, winning over Houston University JV Gold and having a forfeit win over Bucks County Community College. They aim to keep this win streak going against St. Lawrence University Brown, alongside having an in-person match against Misericordia University Blue on the 10th. Rocket League keeps up a great NECC season, winning 4-3 over Penn State University Black. They unfortunately took their first loss of the season against Arcadia University, keeping it incredibly close nonetheless, going 3-4. For the ECAC season, they unfortunately took two close losses against the University of Pittsburgh and Greensburg and University of Central Missouri, going 3-4 and 2-4 respectively. They aim to keep their great season going with a match against the Florida International University Panthers for the ECAC. Week 3 was rough for the Marvel rivals, losing 3-0 to Fisher College White and having to forfeit against the St. Clair Saints that week. With their full roster in Week 4, they turned it around, winning 3-2 against Pace University Cloud White. They aim to get some momentum going with a match against the Marist College Red. Overwatch, Green remained undefeated going into Week 5 with a tense match against the University of Georgia. Red, going into the final map, Overwatch Green came out with on top 3-2. Their next match was significantly easier against the University of Arkansas Cookies. Overwatch Gold going into Week 5 have yet to lose a single map with dominant 3-0s over Leslie University Green, Trent University White, and New England College Grimm's Red. They aim to keep this commanding season going against Worcester Polytechnic Institute Gray. Here are the standings going into Week 5. We hope the best for our players and wish them luck in their upcoming matches. When we come back, more sports.
Can you tell me about Marywood tonight?
Well, Marywood Tonight is the talk show that me and Felix Sattini put on every week for TV-Marywood. It's the first one in 7 years that they've done, and it's a good. I think it's a good show. I mean, I'm obviously biased, but it's the most popular thing on TVM today, which is crazy.
How was it being on the show?
It was very fun. Randy is very good at making all the guests feel welcome, and like some of his jokes are like so funny. Some of his jokes are funny. But it's very fun to be there. It's like a great environment. Everybody loves, like, you'd think like, oh, I'm gonna be there and everybody's gonna be like watching me. Like, it doesn't feel like that. You're there and it's fun. Everybody's laughing with you. Like, it's a good time.
What was it like behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, it's crazy. There's people running around, and it's like the camera people are like just trying to like figure everything out, and it's just fun to see how it all comes together and like how it's put together, and then versus the end product. Like, it's very fun to see.
How can you get on the show?
Email Randy, or you can't miss him. He's always in a suit. Just go up to him and be like, Randy, I want to be on the show, and he'll put you on. He'll get in contact with you.
All right, final question. What can people do to support the show?
Watch it. Give me money. You could pay me if you want. I mean, it's not going to go to the show. I'll use the money for something else. You can come watch the show if you want to come sit down and watch it. That's great too. We can be found on the TV-Marywood's YouTube channel or Marywood Tonight. But just, if you like it, say something in the comments, leave a like. I always find this. We have tremendous views, but the likes are always like 1 or 2 people, which I never understand. But if, just do whatever you want to do to support it. I encourage you to give me money, though. I love money. I'm Jason Camardo. Just kidding, I'm Randy Rabb. On Saturday, women's basketball team traveled to Immaculata to face the Mighty Macs in the Atlantic East Championship game. This was the first time the Pacers competed in a final since 1984, 42 years ago. Marywood faced a hulking challenge as Immaculata stood undefeated during conference play and was the reigning AEC champion. The Pacers fell behind in the first half and were never able to recover, dropping 74-49. Marywood ends its best conference season in decades with a 14-13 record. Women's lacrosse visited New Jersey on Saturday to play Stockton University. The high-octane matchup saw Marywood with a fighting chance at the end of the first quarter, but it unraveled afterwards, with the Pacers eventually losing 20-10. Marywood then hosted nationally ranked Haverford College on Sunday, dropping that contest 18-3. The team got back to winning ways on Wednesday against King's College, dominating their crosstown rivals 18-3. Their next game is today against Keene University. Men's lacrosse traveled to sunny Delhi on Saturday in a horse-on-horse green and gold on green and gold matchup. The Pacers fell short, dropping a 9-5 in streaky game. The team also hosted the McDaniel College on Wednesday afternoon. The Pacers kept it close through the first half, but ended up falling 12-3. The squad travels to Juniata College on Sunday. The baseball season, that's coming up. Baseball is also underway at Marywood. The team opened up its season at the University of Scranton, where it fell 9-5. A doubleheader sweep against the Notre Dame of Marywood. Oh, that's Maryland, sorry. Against Notre Dame of Maryland saw the Pacers sneak into the winning column with an 18-9 and 16-1 victories. Finally, the squad faced Rosemont College on Sunday. Rosemont got the better of Marywood in their first game, but Marywood got revenge in the second. The Pacers will travel to Florida for spring break with a 3-2 record. And that's it for this news. I hope I did good. Jason, hope you're back next week. Back to you, Brielle.
Incredible drone video captured a harrowing rescue of 2 people after a hot air balloon crashed 920 feet atop a communications tower.
Responders in Texas executed a dizzying tower rescue over 900 feet in the air. Drone video released by City of Longview officials shows the operation that unfolded atop a huge communications tower where a hot air balloon crashed and was left dangling with 2 people inside. According to the Longview Fire Marshal, it took responders more than an hour to climb up the tower, and rescuers then had to secure the balloon and give the man and woman on board harnesses so they could escape. They eventually made it back to level ground, where they were taken to a hospital as a precaution.
Up next, weather.
As we wrap up the first half of spring semester 2026 and head into spring break, here's what we can expect over the next few days. Spring-like temperatures finally arrive with the weekend in the high 60s, though rain is in the forecast through early Sunday morning. Overnight lows this weekend sink only into the high 40s. Monday looks to be mostly dry with a high 66 degrees. Rain moves in on Tuesday with a high currently forecasted for 68 degrees rather. Rain continues through Wednesday and lasts until at least mid-morning Thursday. Overall, it looks like we will be starting off with a pleasant, even if a bit wet, weather for the beginning of spring break. I'm Clint Gregory, and this has been your TVM Weather Report. Back to you, Brielle.
Thanks, Clint. For Randy Rabb, Clint Gregory, and all of the students here who make TVM possible, I'm Brielle Sheeland, and thanks for watching. And don't forget to turn your clocks forward Saturday night for daylight savings time this weekend. Enjoy your spring break, Marywood.